I made my first 1 crore at the age of 20, but sadly, I spent my teenage watching Doraemon, Shinchan, Man vs. Wild, and the list goes on. I'm 22 now, but if I knew what I know today, back then, I would have achieved that same amount of money at the age of 19, 18, or even 17. And so, what I'm sharing today in this video are 13 life lessons for teenagers or college students to make big money early on in life. But here's some context before that. For the last 22 years of my existence, I have seen my father wake up, go to the office, come back in the night, and do that every single day working at some company. I have huge respect for him and the struggles he went through to raise me, but I decided that this is not the life I want to live. I wanted to break this cycle, escape this matrix, and obtain the freedom to live life in my own terms. And that's how everything started for me. I was born in a small town in Khandwa, Madhya Pradesh, and I decided that this is not going to be my identity, and I changed it in the last 3 years. And you can too. Starting with the first life principle I want to share with you, and that is to be very conscious with what content you are consuming. You are no longer the average of 5 people that you are hanging around with. You are actually the average of the 5 YouTube videos, 5 podcasts, and the 5 books that you consume every single month. So be very conscious for what thoughts you let into your mind. There's a beautiful saying by Gautam Buddha which says like this. He says, watch your thoughts, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits because they become your character. And watch your character because that determines your destiny. If you think I'm wrong, just open up the YouTube homepage on an incognito Chrome tab and you will see what is it that majority of India is consuming. You will find item number songs, you will find Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma episodes, and you will find mindless meme compilation videos. That is the reality of the India that we live in today. Which means if you start educating yourself from an early age, the competition is minimal. In a world where most people are wasting time, your ability to focus and do that continually for multiple days, months, weeks, and years is your superpower. Another lesson if you want to make big money early on in life as a teenager or college student is to understand this one thing. If they are not where you want to be, don't listen to what they have to say. I have heard the sad reality is you want to become the founder of a multi-billion dollar company. You want to become someone who invents and researches as a scientist. You want to become someone who is amazing at their craft while you are still wasting your time listening to what your teacher has to say, to what your parents have to say, to what your friends have to say about what you should be doing with your own life. Instead of reading books of successful people, listening their podcasts and videos, you chose to listen what your teacher has to say about what you can and cannot do. As a student in class 10 going to coaching centers, my teachers literally told me, don't try Ishan, you will not get into an IIT. Don't try Ishan, you will not be able to crack NTSC, KVPY or any other exam I was preparing for. They literally said it to my face. The problem is you get conditioned to this feedback and you start realizing it in your head. Yes, I am not capable of achieving that. I cannot get that thing done. I cannot achieve that milestone. And that is the biggest problem with taking advice from people who have not accomplished what you want to achieve. So always remember this one thing. If they are not who you want to be, never listen to what they have to say. Before the third lesson, let me give you a quick story. So I was fond of Apple iPads and my father once got an iPad from his own company. They gave him the iPad and I was using it every single day. When my father left that company, he had to return that iPad to the company and I was left thinking, I need to have an iPad. It was an addiction. I loved using it. I loved playing games and watching videos on it. And I would just go to my father and beg, मेरे को iPad दिला दो, please iPad दिला दो. And I would just pester him every single day. And after irritating him every single day, one day he just said, खरीद लो, खुद खरीद लो. And I was like, मैं कैसे खरीदूं? I cannot afford it. And he said, stop using this sentence. Stop using this mindset. Change it from I cannot afford it to how can I afford it? And this is the greatest mindset shift that you need if you are a college student. The best thing about the world you live in right now is that you can be sitting in your house, mastering a skill like logo design or copywriting or creating ads or writing code, and you can be working for people around the world, and no one cares about your age, your gender, how you look, as long as you deliver on what they asked you for. And that is the most beautiful thing. I've made podcasts with numerous people who were 14, 15, 16, 17, and they're making thousands of dollars every single day using platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, or LinkedIn for that matter. And they use these platforms to find opportunities for them to make the money for what they wanted to buy. So change this mindset from I cannot afford it to how can I afford it. For lesson number 4, I want to take you to Will Smith. You might have seen his movies like Pursuit of Happiness, Men in Black, and many others. He wrote his own book in which he talked about his entire life. When he entered into the acting career, he did not know how to talk properly. He was a rapper, so he did not know how to act. But he had one superpower. He said this in an interview, and I quote, "No one can ever outwork me. You can be taller than me, you can be smarter than me, you can be better looking than me, but if it comes to me versus you can never outwork me in my work ethic." And if you can just take this one learning into your own life, everything will change. I remember I had these 2 kids in my class who were extremely studious and genius at what they were doing, right? हम लोग 10th क्लास में थे, एंड वो दोनों बच्चे लास्ट बेंच पे बैठ के 12th क्लास की 11th क्लास की बुक्स में क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते थे मैथ्स और केमिस्ट्री के, एंड मैं उनको देख के डर जाता था. आई वाज लाइक यार ये तो बहुत स्मार्ट है, ये तो बहुत इंटेलिजेंट है, मुझे पता ही नहीं है क्या पढ़ रहे हैं, एंड दे विल अचीव सो मच मोर देन व्हाट आई कैन. इफ आई ओनली न्यू दिस वन कोड फ्रॉम क्रिस डू, दैट हार्ड वर्क बीट्स टैलेंट, व्हेन टैलेंट डजंट वर्क हार्ड, my life would have changed at that point. I conditioned my mind saying that कि ये तो मुझसे ज़्यादा सक्सेसफुली होंगे हमेशा. अगर आप स्कूल या कॉलेज में हो, a lot of you create this थिंकिंग इन योर हेड कि नहीं मैं तो इतने ही नंबर लाता हूँ, या फिर नहीं मैं तो इतना ही अचीव कर सकता हूँ, या फिर 97 आउट ऑफ 100 तो मैं ला ही नहीं सकता, या फिर मैं ये कुछ बड़ी चीज़ कर ही नहीं सकता. दैट इज अ कंडीशनिंग दैट यू नीड टू इरेज from your mind if you want to make it big early on in life. And the only way to do that is to outwork your self-doubt. And to do that, let's talk about the 5th lesson, and that is to make a contract with yourself about what you want to achieve and with the goals that you want to have. I made a contract with myself that for better or for worse, I will upload one video every 2 days in my YouTube channel. It's been about 3 years. I've uploaded over 1,000 videos on my channel just because I made this one contract with myself. I have boosted my confidence to a point at which I know that if I have built this channel from scratch, I can do bigger things in life as well. And so a lot of you are facing self-confidence issues. You have doubts about what you can, what you cannot achieve. But if you simply create a contract with yourself that, Ishan, you need to fix your life, you will stop doing all of these things and you will start adopting these new habits, and you sign it yourself. That is going to bring your confidence to new highs, and you won't be able to imagine what all you can achieve if you just create this habit. Lesson number 6, I wish I knew this before. You need to normalize being weird and stop trying to fit in with the crowd. I changed 14 schools in 12 years of my schooling and 10 different cities, because of which I was in a new Indian state, in a new city with new friends, and I learned to adapt myself. But I also worried कि मैं इन लोगों के जैसा नहीं दिखता, मैं इन लोगों जैसी बात नहीं करता, मैं इन लोगों के जैसा नहीं हूँ, and I always felt left behind, and I felt bad about that. If I only knew it's completely okay for you to not fit in. Your weird things is what really makes you stand out, is what differentiates you from the crowd, and you should be proud of it. Steve Jobs and Apple का commercial है which talks about the misfits, the round pegs in the square holes. It's completely okay if people around you do not understand you. It's completely okay if most people are watching Doraemon Shinchan, but you want to consume and learn from people who've built big businesses. If you ever feel alone with what you believe and what you are doing, it's completely okay. You don't need to fit in with everyone, because when you do that, you become a part of the majority and end up being mediocre for the starting of your career. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're watching this video, I think you want to be different. I think you want to be better than most people who are just going to the school, coming back, watching TV, eating random junk food, and just doing that for entirety of their teenage. you want to be special. Now, this habit, I am glad I did it. The 7th lesson is to start documenting your life. Every single day, I had this habit of writing down whatever happened throughout my day and how was I feeling that day, right? This gave me context of the growth I am experiencing, what am I learning every single day, and I could now look back at my journey. I felt low at some points in my life. कई बार मेरा YouTube channel नहीं grow हो रहा था. कई बार my business was not performing well. I would just go back, open my diary and see what I was doing and going through. I felt amazed by the journey that I've been through, and that is the best thing you can do for yourself. It will also help you improve your written communication skills. Ability to write effectively and engage your audience is the most important skill that you can learn as a teenager or college student, and doing this early on in your career is the most important. So get into the habit of just buying some diary, और अगर आप हैकाथॉन में जाते हो तो आपको बहुत सारी डायरी फ्री में मिलती रहती होंगी. टेक दैट डायरी एंड जस्ट राइट डाउन whatever it is that you're experiencing, or even better, use Notion, right? Every single day, just take out your Notion and start writing down over there what is it that you are feeling and start expressing your emotions. कई बार आपके पास शायद दोस्त ना हो जो आपकी बात सुन सके, कई बार आपके पेरेंट्स ना हो जो आपकी बात सुन सके. Get into the habit of writing it down on Notion and start expressing yourself, right? I just realized that I had Dear Diary as my friend, जिसको मैं कुछ भी शेयर कर सकता हूँ, right? जो मेरी स्कूल की क्रश थी, या फिर जो भी मैं चीज़ सीख रहा हूँ, या मैंने जो भी गेम खेला, या मैंने फ्रिज से निकाल के जो भी लीची चुरा के खा ली. I used to share everything with that Dear Diary, and I think all of you should also do that. It will help you a lot with articulating yourself and documenting your life. कई बार हम लोग बहुत सारी चीज़ें भूल जाते हैं लाइफ में, बट इफ यू स्टार्ट डॉक्यूमेंटिंग यू विल सी द लर्निंग्स कंपाउंड एंड you'll be able to retain whatever it is that you are learning. Lesson number 8 is to realize that time is your biggest advantage, and if I could be 16 again, if I could be 15 again, I would give up everything that I have done so far in the last 3 years just to be that young. And even Warren Buffett says he would give everything that he has built away just to be a 21-year-old again. Your time is your biggest asset. It is not the money, it is not the fame, it is not the coolness that you're running after. It is the time that you have right now. Which means when you're saying yes to something, you are saying no to your dreams, to what you can possibly achieve, to what you can accomplish and learn in that time period. When you say yes to television and watching cartoon, you are saying no to learning a skill. When you are saying yes to gossiping with your friends, you are saying no to listening to a podcast. When you are saying yes to playing games, you are saying no to documenting your life. And once you start thinking about your life in this way, everything starts to shift and change. You start saying no to a lot more things which are not worth your time. And you will realize this later on in life, that most things are just not worth your time. And once you realize that, you can start saying no more often and save that mental bandwidth and time and deploy it in better, more productive use cases. Always remember that when you are saying yes to scrolling reels on Instagram, you are also saying no to sleeping and to give rest to your own body. Lesson number 9 is to understand wealth. What do you think is wealth? I want you to pause this video right now and tell me in the comments, what is the true definition of being wealthy? And if you've written it down, let me tell it to you. Wealthy is not a person who has the most amount of money. Wealthy is not someone who has the most money, but someone who needs the least amount of money to stay happy and stay content in what he or she is doing. It is not about making $1 billion like Gary Vee says. It is actually to wake up and be happy about what you're doing. I literally had a friend of mine who was working with a couple of clients in the US, was making about $1,000, $2,000 in a month, and he had a ton of time, right? He would just spend about 2 hours every day working for those clients, and the rest of the time he would just deploy on learning. वो किताबें खरीदता था, वो खूब सारे कोर्सेज लेता था, वो खुद को अपस्किल करता था, वो बहुत सारी चीज़ें लिखता था. एंड आई यूज्ड टू आस्क हिम कि भाई, व्हाई आर यू डूइंग दिस? लाइक आई स्पेंड 8 to 10 hours every day making over $10,000 a month, and you are just making $2,000. Why not use that time to make more money? And he said that, Ishan, I don't want that money. I don't need it. For me, money only serves a purpose to upskill myself, to become a better version of myself. And I just want to devote 2 hours in making money and the rest 8 hours of my time in upskilling myself, in becoming a better version of myself, so that I can charge later a lot of money instead of what I'm charging right now. And that is the mindset that you need to get into. Lesson number 10 is to understand that you will have pain in life. You cannot avoid pain, right? There will always be pain of accomplishing something. There will be pain of going through a heartbreak, going through sacrifices, having lesser time with your parents. There will always be the pain. But it is really important for you to use this pain to thrust you forward in your life, to use it as a fuel. There will always be two pains of life: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The pain of regret kills the most. And so you must always pick the pain of discipline. There will always be pain, but you need to choose the pain that you want to go through and the pain which will make you a stronger person later on. Lesson number 11, I wish I learned these few skills before. If you are 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 or 20, you need to learn the following skills. Learn about human behavior and psychology, how people make decisions and why do they do that. Number 2, learn how to persuade people. Learn how to sell something and create a burning desire for someone to buy your product. Learn how to communicate yourself effectively. Learn how can you say the most important information in the most precise format with the least amount of complexity. And the more you do that, the better you will become at convincing people, at persuading them. Learn how to write effectively. Writing your diary is definitely going to help, but more importantly, learn to write effectively. Every single day, take this mission to write the whole page about what you're going through, what do you want to do, or anything that you learned today. I guarantee that if you learn these 4 skills early on in life, it will help you incredibly well in your career, in your freelancing career, or if you want to start your own business. Knowing these 3-4 skills will set you apart and will help you make a ton more money and work with people that you've never even imagined of. The 12th learning is to set aside 1 hour every single day to upskill yourself, to learn something new, to learn a high paying skill. It could be design, it could be code, it could be marketing, it could be content, but get into this mindset of setting aside 1 hour every single day. Just 1 hour. You don't need to put in a lot of time. Just take 1 hour and focus on that one thing. You can watch YouTube videos, courses, podcasts, ebooks, books, and so much more, and upskill yourself with this one habit. You can learn so much more in the next 1, 2, 3 years while you are a school student, or if you are in college. This one habit will set you apart of 99% of people and will help you learn and have a ton of knowledge. The 13th lesson that I want to share with you is about your health and about your brain. If I just started hitting the gym at the age of 16 or 17, I would have been so much more fitter. And this fitness directly impacts your mindset and what you can achieve. So get into the habit of focusing on your fitness. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा that you go to the gym and you lift a lot of weight. I'm just saying be conscious of what you are eating and the physical activity that you're doing every single day. You need to realize that your brain is a super computer and you must always upgrade its software. You can do that by reading books, by listening to podcasts, by having new experiences. You need to preserve its battery. You can do that by having 8 hours of sleep, connecting with the nature, and having a digital detox every single day of 12 hours without any social media. And you need to clear its hard drive. You can do that by meditating, by journaling, and by having that positive self-talk with yourself. This is the most important thing for you to understand if you are in college or if you are a teenager. These were the 13 most important lessons that you need to learn to stand out of 99% of people and make big money in life. Let me know in the comment section, what do you want to achieve? What is your goal before 2023 ends? In the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. What is your favorite lesson from this whole video? Let me know below as well. Please share this video with your friends. You can type on Instagram at Ishan Sharma 7390. I will see you all in the next video. If you're still watching, write in the comment section. I watched till the very end. I'll see you in the next one.